some people may think I'm exaggerating, but like when I say that I still have dreams about a makeup product that I never got my hands on, I really do. It's bizarre. It just rings that true for me. Dreamers, it's me, Jacqueline. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome to Dreams of Music and Makeup. I'm really glad to have you. Consider subscribing if you are interested in beauty videos, as I post them twice a week and would love to have you around for them. If you want to stay notified, click that bell next to the subscribe button to get pop-up notifications when my videos go live. We've just gotten through the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale and couple other things going on in this community where there have been a lot of sale opportunities and things to get your hands on. I have a lot of new things in my collection as a result. Today I thought it would be a good idea to kind of batch style that, talk to you guys after my application and kind of go through my thoughts, where I'm at with these different products, if I think I'm going to keep them in my collection, etc. So if that sounds like a plan to you and you're excited, click that thumbs up button. That helps me out a lot. Started with eyes today. Tried out this Mally Evercolor Shadow Stick Extra Velvet in the shade Dusty Rose. While I like this, I don't know if it's the ideal color for me. I wanted this because it's a unique shade, and I apologize that my white balance was not perfectly correct when I was applying this. It would be really hard to go back in time and refilm that, so we're just gonna go with it. This is what that shade looks like on its own. I think it's beautiful. It's a really nice kind of neutral leaning cool. I like how it looks mixed with purples, so that is why I played around with, this is Dusty Rose by Anastasia. I mean, they're just in a similar color family, so that is the shade that I have worked into my crease to kind of blend this out. And I love these shades, these kind of dusty, purpley, fall colors. At least that's what it makes me think of. It really makes me think of fall and kind of the colors that leaves change, maybe when they're done being super colorful. That dead leaves color, I'm a fan of that. Shop Hush is a site that sells some affordable makeup brands such as like e.l.f. and NYX, I want to say. They carry some lines of eyeshadows and other products that are exclusively kind of dupes or knockoffs of more expensive creative ventures. So while I'm generally against that, as an artist, I believe I was talking with Paula about this a few months back. She asked me in a comment on one of my videos if I had shopped on Shop Hush and what did I think of those palettes and that sort of thing. They generally just rip off the entire idea, the packaging, everything from a high-end palette that probably took months and lots of research, and they just kind of churn out a duplicate. I generally am against that principle. While it may be legal, I don't think it's right. The reason why I caved and went on the Shop Hush website is because of my perpetual girl crush, Mariah Leonard. If you've not heard me mention her, you haven't been around that long and you need to start binge watching my videos, because I want to say I name drop her like every other one. But she mentioned this palette because of a palette that she still uses that's been discontinued, and that is the Master palette that was in collaboration with Mario Dedjanovic. Am I saying that correctly? That released about 2 years ago. I want to say that was in 2016. I was so sad I missed out on that palette. It was stunning, it was beautiful, and all of those shades were discontinued. Bad Habit Beauty has come up with a dupe for that palette. The layout is not exactly correct. That's the same palette. That's the same. It's the exact same. I saw how it worked. I saw how the pigments were dispersing on the skin, and I just fell in love. It looks like and performs like the original product that they are trying to emulate. So for that reason, I did pick this up because the original is no longer available. End of soapbox. This is gorgeous. You can use a brush, you can use your finger. It is not difficult. I've used it 3 or 4 times now, and I've not had any issues with wear. I've not had any issues with patchiness or weird blending issues or anything like that. These are so finely milled, and they're not crazy sparkly. I really like this because of how silky the metallics are. They really just blend out on the skin in this beautiful way. See how there's no like harsh line where that stopped or anything, and it's just effortless. A $16 or a $15 palette There's almost always a coupon code. If you are new to the Shop Hush website, you can give them your email and get a coupon code to use for your first order. That's what I did, so I got this for like $12 and change. But they also gave me a free sample of this Beauty Blender liquid cleanser with my purchase, which I didn't know they were going to do. That was kind of a nice perk. I have not tried that product yet, but I will keep you guys informed. Today or yesterday, where I live, decided it is finally fall, and I'm so grateful, but that also means that the scaliness of my dry skin is out in full force. If you notice my foundation looks a little funny, that is exactly why. I did the best I could. I prepped my skin this morning with a light exfoliation in my cleanser. However, at these change of season times is when I get that really flaky, scaly, alligator-like skin. But basically, I tried out a new foundation, so I didn't want to try out a new primer. This really is just hydrating. I don't notice that it does anything too crazy as far as extending the wear or anything like that. But being a dry type, I knew it wasn't going to trip me up with this application process. I tried the L'Oreal Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick for foundation today. This is not the first time I've tried this. I have it in the shade 402, which is nude beige. That is my closest shade. It is a pretty neutral undertone. It's a little bit light for me, but better a little light than a little dark with a stick foundation because I can't really mix it. I like the texture okay. It's not the most coverage. I think I'm a little disappointed in the level of coverage that it gives, just because I've seen it compared to the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation by, I believe Emily Noel is the one who said that it's very close, and I've heard a couple of people since agree with that statement. I'm not really the type to spend 40 or 50 bucks on a foundation, especially when it's a 1/4 ounce. I thought this would be a good one to try out, and while I don't dislike it yet, I can't say that I like it yet either. It glides on fairly smoothly. It doesn't give the most coverage. As you guys know, the last foundation stick I tried was that Makeup Revolution one, and that one was far too greasy for my liking. It made my face itch, and that has never happened to me with foundation before. I didn't get a reaction to it necessarily, but it was the most uncomfortable foundation I've ever worn. This doesn't feel like that at all. I feel like it blends into the skin very well. It just doesn't give the amount of coverage that I would like with a stick foundation. We'll see how this goes as I continue to wear it and try it out. It did not like being put on top of the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I did prime with that yesterday, and I seem to have much more issue with trying to gain coverage with this L'Oreal stick, so just so that you're aware. From there, I concealed. I have picked up this Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Liquid Concealer once again. It oxidizes to be a little bit too dark for me in the light neutral shade. While it's closer to my actual skin tone than this one is, at least this one is light enough for me to put under my eyes without turning orange compared to the rest of my face. Full Coverage Concealer by Ulta. I actually showed you guys in that video that when you break it down, it is actually more expensive than the Too Faced one if you're regularly going through it and using it on a daily basis, so go check that out if you have more questions. I wanted to try this formula out one more time because it was hard to give my real thoughts on something that was slightly too dark. So I figured as I'm getting fairer in these winter months, it might be nice to have this, even if it's just kind of a mix-in for some other concealers. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. Maybe I needed to set it a little more heavily, but it has creased again under my eyes, which is annoying. I did lightly set it. I didn't set it a whole lot, but I wouldn't say I skimped on setting it today. So that's kind of annoying, but I did set with a new powder, so hard to tell which one actually caused the issue. I'm talking about the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in the shade Light. This is something I picked up in the 21 Days of Beauty sale because it was priced like the sample size or the travel size, so approximately 50% off. I like this powder so far. I had not used it to set my under eyes before today, so that was a new test. I'm not sure it passed, but I liked how it looked when it set the under eye. I do like how it looks on the skin. I used this on a large loose brush and just kind of lightly dusted my face once I was ready to move on to powder products. So far so good. I like it. I'm not really having any issues with it. I wanted a loose powder that had a slight bit of coverage to it to add to my collection because I tend to only have coverage powders in a pan and loose powders that are translucent. Moving on to powder products. I didn't have any new bronzer or blush for you or new brow products, so I went ahead and skipped ahead of that. And the next thing we kind of looked at was the highlighter. I actually showed you two. So one of my favorites is this Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. I mentioned this in my last video. This one is my favorite. This one has been around for quite some time. This is what I highlighted my entire face with before I went into what I'm about to show you next. This is a heavy swatch, of course. It doesn't look like that on the high points of my face because a swatch is not the same thing. Once I used that, I went in and topped just the very high points of my face with the Nikki Tutorials collaboration highlighter because that one's a bit brighter. This is the Nikki Tutorials shade. It is the number 250. They did not give it its own name. It's exclusive to Ulta Beauty, and if you want to see me putting that on my skin alone, go check out the other video I made about it. I will link it for you. But these are those two highlighters on my skin compared. So this is the Rose Gold and this is the Nikki Tutorials one. I like this. If you're someone who doesn't like kind of silvery or neutral fair highlighters, you're not gonna like this. That's exactly what this is. But for that reason, I think it's beautiful, quite universal, and it's a great addition to your collection, even if it is just for topping up those high points for a little extra intensity. On my lips, I am wearing this Beauty by Pop Sugar Be the Boss lip gloss. This is a cream gloss, which means there's no shimmer in it. This, I just think, is a beautiful shade, regardless of the season, regardless of what you're wearing. It's just kind of one of those enhancing kind of lip shades. It smells like creme brulee. So far, I really like how it wears. It's not overly sticky, but it's quite moisturizing, which I enjoy. Oh, I did apply this Almay thickening mascara. I think I mentioned this in a former video as well. I do really like this. I just wouldn't say that it's more volumizing than my Great Lash Lots of Lashes. This made it into my top 5 drugstore mascaras video. This is my number 1, or at least it has been for the longest time. This one I've been buying for probably 8 years. So go check that video out if you haven't already. This is what's on my lashes today, but the other one is more volumizing if that's what you're looking for. But I don't dislike this mascara at all. I am using it up. I really like it. I believe that concludes all of the products that I wanted to chat with you guys about, that I've been kind of playing with and testing to see what I think so far. Are any of these products in your collection? What is your skin type and what do you think of them? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Leave me a comment, or if you have an idea for a new video for me, always leave that down there. I love turning your ideas into videos. If you haven't already, subscribe before you go. Click that like button if you enjoyed. I hope this video finds you well wherever you are in this world, whether it be day or night. I hope you keep dreaming. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.